Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, and last fall, around September of 2019 calendar year, Wildwood came out with this really cool thing that is currently pretty much exclusive to them called the VersaLounge. That's their name for it anyway. It's basically what I call a Swiss Army sofa. It turns a super slide in a Wildwood into anything you want it to be, basically. Any sort of seating configuration you can imagine it can pretty much become. And it can do it without needing different furniture in the same RV. Like sometimes people say, well, I'm looking for more of a comfortable seating arrangement. Some people are like, well, I'm looking for more guest sleeping capacity. I'm looking for more storage. Well, this can do all of it without ever having to exchange any furniture. It's actually really, really cool. But I've been a little surprised, despite its awesome nature, how little feedback I've heard on it. And I think it's because it happened right about the time last year where everyone was sort of hunkering down and getting into like Christmas mode, and that sort of fall mentality mindset. Like it happened after a lot of people had already put their campers away for the season. And I think it's awesome. It is the kind of thing that, for lack of a better phrase, it sounds cheesy, it moves my needle, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I went, oh my God, that changes things entirely. Like, if I was going to go camping, what would I look for? And every floor plan you find it on, it enhances to an incredible degree, is what I think is so great about it. So, I wanted to take a second to kind of circle back to that and take another look at it. And I realized I've already done some pretty in-depth footage on it. I just don't know that everybody saw it. And the perfect RV to look at in this is the Wildwood 29 V-Bud, because it has two things. One, it has the Super Slide VersaLounge, and two, it has their VersaBunk arrangement. So first, a quick look at the full Wildwood Super Slide VersaLounge. Back to the kitchen in a minute. I want to spend some time really absorbing what's over here in this Super Slide because it is a really cool feature. The UD in VBUD stands for U-Dinette, and that's what we're looking at over here. And at a glance, this is a pretty rank and file, boring Super Slide. You've got the U-Dinette there. You've got that jackknife type sofa. It is cool that we've got those huge panoramic viewing windows and the slide side breeze windows. But wouldn't it be neat if it could just be something more? Well, I imagine that's pretty much what the Wildwood team asked themselves when they came up with this. And what's funny, it's incredibly simple, but amazingly effective. Basically just the back bench on that dinette, the backer flips around and it creates this huge adult-sized, like, long napping lounge right here that you can just wrap a whole bunch of people around. And you'll see when we come from the bunk house, when we come from that direction, how it directly faces the entertainment center. So it gives it a really good entertainment arrangement. But what's neat is it doesn't prevent this thing from maintaining a little kind of kid dining space. You still have a little L dinette. You don't lose that. So if it's a rainy day and you want to lounge, but you want to set the kid down with a coloring book or something like that, some watercolors, you get the idea. You've still got a cool little place to do that, little place to grab a bite to eat maybe. Now down below that, if the camera ever shapes up, there we go. You can see how they didn't box in the rear bench of that U-Dinette VersaLounge Swiss Army sofa, whatever you want to call it. And I kind of like that because I actually like to curl my feet under me when I'm eating, when I'm leaning toward a table. And normally like a boxy booth dinette prevents me from doing that. Now you'll find that you have sealed edge counters, not just here on this dining table, but through the entire RV, the bathroom, the kitchen, everywhere. And this is cool. This seating arrangement is very cool. But once again, what if it could be more? Well, they did it. They made it more. Since that bench can float left to right, there's nothing that says you have to leave it there. And what you can create is this giant, full Super Slide seating space. And that is one of the times when those full, slow-rise blackout roller shades really come in handy. And that's what's neat about this. This is an RV that's good for not just sleeping little kids. It's good for sleeping those extra large teenagers. Or if you know
that your kids are going to get tall when they get older, you want to get a bigger bunkhouse like this now instead of later. That way you only have to buy an RV one time and not 2 times, provided your tow vehicle can handle it, of course. This is also good for sleeping adults, so it's not just a kid sleeper. You could easily sleep 2 adults on this, toes to toes preferably. Nose to toes is less preferable, of course. But once again, we can dream. Wouldn't it be cool if it were more? Well, I guess dreams really do come true. Because we are greeted with what I like to refer to as not just the stow-and-go storage system, the superior stackable stow-and-go storage. Compared to last year, they have increased the size of these totes. They're now stackable. We have 20.3 cubic foot of stow-and-go storage all safe in here. And what's kind of cool is these are food grade rated. So if you put food in them, it's not going to like contaminate your food.
All right, so again, it only does everything, right? It's pretty cool. Tons of storage, tons of seating. I can totally picture, like, if I'm stuck inside this thing on a rainy day, don't get me wrong, when I go camping and go outside. I want to be under that awning. I want to be at the playground with my kid watching her get dirty and have fun and go down slides and push her on a swing set. I love that stuff. That's why we go camping, is to reconnect a little bit. But there are times you do spend a little time inside the camper or a rainy day, and you can't like always go to the go-kart track if it's raining or something like that. You get the idea. But I can totally see myself like just kind of lounging out in that corner of that VersaLounge. You know, my wife hanging out there, maybe leaning against me, maybe trying to stay a little bit away from me because she needs her space sometimes, and which is just, you know, I think every husband and wife understands that little. Sometimes you want to hang out, sometimes you're like, I just need a little personal space. And the L lounge section of that VersaLounge gives us the room to do that. Meanwhile, right behind us, my kiddo could be there coloring stuff or something like that. Could still be in the room, could still be kind of with us, but everyone sort of has their own little space to do different things. Not to mention those storage totes. I love that arrangement. That is so odd. There's no such thing, if we're being serious. Like sometimes we'll joke like, oh, there's too much storage in this camper, blah, blah, blah. But in truth, there's just no such thing as too much storage in an RV. And having those big tote organizers, that is just brilliant. But on that same floor plan, first of all, so the VersaLounge is available on any Super Slide full Wildwood. So there's FSX, X-Lite, and then full Wildwood. The full Super Slide Wildwoods are the ones that'll have that VersaLounge. And I believe with the exception of the 27RE, they all have some form of that VersaLounge. The 27RE does not, because instead of a common sofa, it has a pair of recliners sitting straight across from the entertainment center in one of those famous RV nerd no-neck wrecker entertainment centers that I like to talk about. So it's available all over the Wildwood lineup. And we have a bunch of them sitting out here for you to take a look at right now. So whether you're looking for couples, like the 27RKS rear kitchen, 26D Bud, you know, if you're looking for half tons up through the big triple slide 31KQBSS, which means 31 foot K outside kitchen, B or QB quad bunk SS super slide. If you want to boil that whole model number down, I've done a different video on model numbers, but I mean it's all over the place, you know, from half tons stuff all over. So there's that. But on the 29V Bud, and I suspect they're going to try to utilize this function in other bunks moving forward, they also came up with a similar concept, but specifically contoured just to a bunk room called their VersaBunk.
You're like, oh, it's one of those L bunkhouses, but no, it's not exactly that, is it? Down here, you've got basically a second queen bed, and trying to find a camper with like 2 queen beds, that is about as rare as hen's teeth, and you might know the joke behind that. Hens don't have teeth, so there you go. If you didn't know the joke, now you did. But the thing is, remember how I called this a VersaBunk? You can transform with this thing just like all over the place. So first, these overhead bunks flip up out of the way. They cover the windows, which, by the way, did you notice those do open for airflow? And they're easy to lift because they each have their own handy little gas strut. They also each have their own handy little USB plug there. And it's cool. If this room did nothing but these 2 bunks flipping up, that would be really neat. But that's really only where it starts. Because you're like, oh, you know, I get it. So the sofa's the bed's kind of now like a sofa. And no. the bed becomes the sofa. And it's great how it does it. The mattress actually has a little fold in the middle, so it just folds up and stacks behind the sofa. But you're probably thinking, yeah, but now I gotta find a place to handle all these cushions. And you don't. The cushions stay attached. So, you know, this thing isn't, it's easy. It's just simple and easy. And now look what's happened. You've already got an incredibly flexible living room, and now we've got like a bunk room, a second living room, a lounge, a little play space for the kiddos, an office, a den. I mean, there's no limit to what you can do back here. Well, I suppose you couldn't play, you know, full court basketball, so that there is some limit, but neither here nor there. Kind of neat too. You know, there's a lot of support under that folding bed there, but they also left it wide open, so if you want to stuff the kids' bags down there, it has more storage than just the cabinetry that you see over here. But as if that wasn't enough, remember our stow and go storage? Yeah, well, now there's more of it. TV hookups on the wall above, more sealed edge counter space, and more of those giant stow and go totes. Now you see that cargo door right there? That was actually my suggestion, and it's super cool that they adopted it. When I did my Wildwood factory video tour, if you've seen that, I got to see this model being prototyped, and I thought it was neat, and I said, sign me up right away. But I said, you know, you could take this thing next level. When all this stuff is folded up out of the way, you have this huge, wide open cargo space. Why aren't you opening that up with a cargo door? And they went, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Now,
And one of the things I thought was cool about that, I might mention, the little cargo door in that one specific floor plan, that was actually an idea that I threw at him. I saw the prototype of that when I recorded my Wildwood factory tour last year. I said, right here, put that big cargo door because you can fold this bed up out of the way. I have room for my bicycles or grills or more totes or duffel bags or whatever. And it's awesome, all the things that you can do with it. So take a second look. I'm going to leave a little link down here in the video description where you can check out Wildwood's with the VersaLounge feature, which is not an option. That's just their cool standard seating arrangement in the appropriate models. So it's super flexible. It can do a lot of things. It can be a massive sleeper, super flexible seating, all kinds of storage. Swiss Army sofa, man. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.